Hey guys, Mike here, Mike's Computer Tips. How's it going? I am back online live stream. Today was a crazy day. If you saw the first part of my video, which actually I didn't post it because it cut out. So I'm starting it again, and I am going to post this one no matter what. I've been doing some things with my USB flash drives. If you guys have USB flash drives, you should organize them like I'm doing today. I have a bunch of them, and I'm also organizing my NVMe M.2 drives. I'm making sure they're all formatted and working. But I've been going through a lot of these Windows 10 and drives that have a lot of programs on them. I have a couple Windows 10 drives. They're really good drives that I use. And especially this white one, this is my favorite one of them all. This one is always good. I mean, it has never failed me before. It's an old one, but it works good. I'm gonna label it again because it sort of lost its appeal. Like you can't see it, so I'm just gonna put a number 10 on there. Should put a whole new label. And I have this 10 drive that I haven't used it, but it's like a good for a backup. And it's funny, I was actually talking to a guy about this today. This is actually a 1 terabyte USB flash drive. I forgot where I got it. I was trying to remember where I got it, but I just couldn't remember. But there's nothing on here, but it's 1 terabyte, which holds a lot of data. And I have my Belarc on here, and another one. And I have some drivers on this one. This is a regular SanDisk. And it's kind of funny, a buddy of mine, here's a Windows 11. Here's a Windows 11. A friend of mine made me a Windows 11 yesterday. And I'm trying to find it. I have everything just like kind of all over, but it's like an organized mess, you know what I mean? It's all in the same area, but I have to figure out what's what. And I even have I've been going through my external hard drives, and I realized that the external hard drive that I use the most is this one, and I didn't have Google Chrome setup on there, so I transferred it from another drive, and I put Google Chrome setup on there. I have these bigger ones. This one has Crystal Disk. It has Microsoft Blue, which is the Microsoft version, Office version that Microsoft actually uses. I have that. I got that from a friend of mine years ago, and it doesn't require a license, and it works good if you want all the different like Microsoft products. I don't really use them. I install most of the time. I install the OpenOffice, and that's a free version. I bought this disk a long time ago. It's called Pass Reset, and it's funny because I've never used it. It's supposed to reset your password. I tried it a couple times without success, but I really never followed up with the company. I should see if they still have support for it, because it could come in handy. Windows 11, it's another one. And there's another Windows 10. And I have a Wi-Fi. I have a software for this too. That's a Wi-Fi adapter. And there's another Wi-Fi adapter in here too. So I have two of these Wi-Fi ones. I have a bunch of stuff. These Wi-Fi ones work with software. I have a card that I install, and I also carry these. These are Ugreen. They have a disc with them too. So they have like wireless Wi-Fi cards that you don't need software, and I have one of them, but these require software. It's not really hard to just install the disc. Only takes a couple seconds. Oh, excuse me. Then I have some of these blanks. There was Amazon store in my town going out of business, and they were selling these 64 gig brand new and 128, and they were like 99 cents, so I bought a bunch of them. And I also ran into a bunch of heat sinks. These are heat sinks for NVMe drives. This one's not. This is a thing that goes on the back of the tower. But all the rest of these are heat sinks. If you want to keep your NVMe cool, you can try to use a heat sink. It comes with like a rubber thing that helps cool your NVMe. Then I have these Wi-Fi dongles, which are okay too. You can get Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. These are wireless adapters, so they're for Wi-Fi. And another thing that I keep around is one of these HDMI to DVI, in case somebody wants to switch it over, or your monitor doesn't have a spot on there for HDMI, but you have DVI. You could put the HDMI cable into that and use DVI, so you still have your still can use your HDMI cable. And I have AVG antivirus on here. All of them have like maybe 10 or 15 different files on. So I have like a lot of stuff on these drives. I really keep a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to make sure I keep my handy dandy screwdrivers in the right spot. They really came in handy today. I was working on a Dell over here. I fixed a Dell. The guy gave me a Dell, and it's been sitting for like years. A Dell laptop, an old Inspiron, and had so much dust and crud on it. I opened it up and cleaned everything, and I put another hard drive, memory, and loaded Windows on it. Now it works. Took me about an hour, but I got it going. And I also carry these. Sometimes these are good to have if you don't have a lot of USBs on your system. This one is 3, and it's made by can't really read it, but you know, a lot of companies make these, so I keep these around. And I also have USB adapter, and it's not easy to see, but USB gets plugged into there, a cable, and then it turns into a C on the other side. So let's say you have a C connector, but you don't have on your laptop, but you just you don't have the right plug. Well, you could plug the USB into here and you know, use it that way. And I also have these picture jobbies here, these little guys, SanDisks. I don't know where I got them, but here's some more, a couple more of these wireless USB. These are Wi-Fi cards. I don't think you need drivers for these. So I have a bunch of them. I have about 4 of those. 3 or 4. And I think I'm gonna put those in with the resist, the flash drives, that way I know where they are, put them all together in one area, that way I don't lose them. And my NVMe I'll keep together, and these are also good to have if you collect a bunch of Wi-Fi cards from like different computers that don't work. You never know when you're going to use them. It's like 4 or 5 different types of Wi-Fi cards, but you know, so if you have one, if you have a bad one, you might find the one that you can replace it with. And I keep a few of those around just in case I ever need them. This is to a Cisco, Linksys Cisco, but I don't know where this came from, you know, so I just keep it around. I think somebody gave it to me, and I threw the rest of the stuff out. I don't know what I did, but I ended up with this. So I'll put that in with the Wi-Fi stuff again. That way I know where everything is. I could have swore I had some more discs, but I'm not sure. You know, sometimes you lose stuff. And I'm trying to keep better organization of everything. This is another one of those USB. This has 4 of them on there. I don't know where I got this from, but they could come in handy if your laptop or desktop doesn't have very many USBs. A lot of the old laptops only came with like 1 USB on each side. Some of them had a lot, but some of them also had like only like 2 USBs. So it's good to have those adapters, so you know if you need to plug in a printer or store a hard drive. These are the NVMe's, and I'm keeping them over here. And this is my favorite one. This is a 1 terabyte NVMe. This is a pretty fast one. I don't know where I acquired it. I think I bought this a long time ago, but I formatted it and it works. So if I need a 1 terabyte hard drive, M.2 NVMe, these are very fast. These are like the fastest hard drives you can get. And I'm going to keep that on the side for like a gaming system or, you know, a high-end computer that needs that. I'll install that. I do keep a lot of screws because you never know when you're going to need screws. I have a bunch of screws. I have a couple of laptops that I took apart. Gotta clean this keyboard time to time. I have a laptop that I took apart, like 2 of them, and these come in handy for taking apart laptops, and like if you have a couple of these guitar pick type things to pry laptops open, these are like my go-to. I use this one and the plastic one so it doesn't damage it. The metal ones are good for prying keyboards. If the keyboard comes out from the top, sometimes there's screws on the bottom, and you have to take those screws underneath the keyboard in order to get the bottom out. So you need to use something that will lift it. And then I have all my go-to screwdrivers on the side. Always need some alcohol to clean stuff, clean parts. I'm gonna put that away. Because I already did a bunch of cleaning. One of these, and this is the hard drive that I took out of the old Dell. It's an old mechanical hard drive, and I put a 240 or 256 SSD in there, so that thing runs like really fast. So I have that. And I do have a couple laptops I'm gonna be working on, that I own, that are just like I bought really cheap, and I'm trying to fix them up. I'm in the middle of trying to get 2 of them working. It's always good to have these cloths too. These are lint-free cloths, and they're good for cleaning screens or computers or whatever. And if you want to clean your computer screen, I can tell you the best way to do it is you get distilled water and you pour a little on one of these, anti-static towels, and you just put a little bit of water on it and very lightly, and just dampen it and just go over the screen. And that's the best way to clean a laptop screen, or even a TV or a desktop screen. Just a little distilled water, and don't press on it. You always have to have this stuff for dust. Sometimes it sounds like you're drilling a tooth, but if a fan is really dirty, I have a couple of these. You can get these at any store. Surf-On is usually the cheapest brand to get. Walmart carries those. And a couple mouse pads, and a lot of, I know I did a video about desktops, fans. They come in all sizes. The gaming computers use the colored fans, that spin and, make different colors. A lot of people like that. But just to have a fan that works, I always keep, like, if I'm throwing away a tower that's all, messed up or out of date, and the fans work, usually I'll take some of the fans off. I've acquired, like, 20, 30 fans that work, and I have them just in case I need them. Some are CPU fans, some are heat sinks, some are just regular case fans, small, and some of them are the bigger ones. So I keep those just in case I need them. Computer tools aren't expensive, but they're like things that you need. Usually are screwdrivers and things that, like, if you drop a screw and it's hard to get, you have to have like a magnet. I always have, I have 2 of these, one big, this one, and I have a small one that I keep in my toolbox, just in case you drop screws where you can't get them. You can always put the magnet in there and pull it out. That's a little thing you learn. Or sometimes shaking it helps, but it doesn't always come out when you shake it. Sometimes the screw gets stuck, like in the motherboard, and it's really hard to get out. Make sure the computer's off, obviously, if it's running. It shouldn't be running anyway if you're changing a screw. And then just, take the screw out, and that magnet will help. This is usually my go-to flashlight if I just need to see something real quick, like looking at some screws, or if I think I might have missed some screws on something. I'll use this little one, and I'll just look in the screw hole and make sure all the screws are out, because it's important, not to, force a laptop open, because there may be some screws that you missed, and also cables that are connected. You have to be careful. Some laptops, when you take them apart, you have to disconnect some wires, so you don't want to pull the thing, because you could damage some of the wires. And a lot of those wires are very hard to replace, so you have to be careful. I usually recommend, if you're going to take a laptop apart, go on YouTube, write the name of the laptop in, and write disassemble, and as you're going step by step, if you're not sure about a certain model laptop, how to take it apart, scan the video, and you'll learn how to do it step by step. You know, doesn't matter how long you've been working on computers. You could be a beginner, an advanced person. They're all, you know, sometimes you run into these issues where, you know, you're not sure how to open some. A lot of all-in-ones are like that. Some all-in-one computers are a pain. You have to take off the back panel to get the screws. Some of them you have to slide the back thing off, or some you have to pry the back. So all-in-ones are really a little, you have to definitely look those up if you're not sure, or if you don't do too many of them, because there's different ways how to open different models. So, with that said, I think I'm going to end the video. I hope I've helped people in any way, and if you need any further help, you can always send me a message, a text, and I'll get back to you. This is Mike from MSL and Mike's Computer Tips. I will see you in the next video. Have a good night.